White Sox baseball.
From the Met in Bloomington, Minnesota, it's Chicago White Sox baseball. White Sox baseball brought to you tonight by True Value Hardware Stores. True Value, it's more than just a name. It's their way of doing business. By the 1978 Chevy truck built to stay tough. By Stroh's, from one beer lover to another, Stroh's. By Ideal Realty Company, your Relo member in Chicago. By Champion Spark Plugs. Plus, treat your car to a fresh set of Champions. By Household Finance Corporation, where people use their money to get the most out of life. By Zenith, building quality home entertainment products for 60 years. By Clark Lift of Chicago, with 5 locations in the greater Chicago area. And by the Association of Chicagoland McDonald's Restaurants. McDonald's salutes the families of America. Hi, and good evening, everybody. Lauren Brown, along with Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall, on a sunny but cool evening here up in the Met in Bloomington, Minnesota, a suburb of Minneapolis, St. Paul, as the Chicago White Sox take on the Minnesota Twins for the first time in this ballpark in 1978. The White Sox going for their 5th win on this road trip and trying to win their 10th game in their last 11. Sox have won 9 of their last 10, including 4 shutouts. They've also had a game where they've allowed only 1 run, and they've had 3 games in this stretch where they've given up only 2 runs a ball game. And they have won 4 of their last 5, and they have shut out the opposition 2 straight. The White Sox, coming into tonight's game, have now moved back into 5th place in the American League West, a half a game in front of the Twins as they picked up a half a game on Minnesota, who was idle last night. The White Sox, in trying to keep this streak alive, will send left-hander Ken Kravick to the mound, and he'll be opposed by Springfield, Illinois native and rookie Roger Erickson, who has not been beaten since the White Sox took his measure 7-2 in Chicago. He has won 6, lost 3, and he has won 4 straight ball games. We'll take a look at tonight's starting lineups in just a minute.
This sporty Chevy Monza.
When you're driving down the road and you're moving through a curve and your car's looking good, it's sure looking good. It's a Monza, a Chevrolet.
Whoever thought a car that looked so good and moved so well would be priced so low? Only $3,659. That's the manufacturer's suggested retail price, including dealer preparation, for Monza 2+2 hatchback coupe. Tax, license, destination charges, and available equipment extra. Chevy Monza, $3,659. A very stylish little number.
When you're turning lots ahead, standing up above the herd, and your car's moving through the dark, spread the word. It's a Monza, a Chevrolet.
The new Chevy Monza, $3,659. For a car so sporty and so well equipped, it's priced surprisingly low.
Monza, a Chevrolet.
See your local Chevrolet dealer now.
Lauren Brown back at the Met in Bloomington, Minnesota. Let's take a look at our starting lineups tonight. First off, for the visiting Chicago White Sox, Thad Bosley will lead it off, and he'll be in center field. Bosley in center tonight as Chet Lemon was scratched right before the ballgame. Chet has been bothered by a lot of nagging injuries, and one of them being a slight muscle pull in the back of his leg, and another, a slight groin pull that he sustained the other night. So Lemon not in the lineup tonight. Bosley in his normal leadoff spot, but Bosley in center field. Ralph Garr will bat second. He'll be in left field. George Orta will be at second base, and he'll bat third. Jim Bobo Brazil will hit in the cleanup spot, and he'll be at first base. Henry Cruz in the lineup tonight in right field. Ron Bloomberg will be the designated hitter, and Bloomberg will be batting 6. So the first 6 hitters in the lineup tonight going from the left side against the right-hander Erickson. Bill Naharodny will bat 7th, and he'll do the catching. Alan Bannister will be at shortstop. He'll bat 8th. And Eric Soderholm, the former Twin, will bat 9th, and Soderholm will be at third base. On the mound, it'll be Ken Kravick going for the White Sox. Kravick has won 3, and he has lost 4. He was 1-1 against the Twins a year ago. He's 1-2 against Minnesota lifetime. For the Twins, Ron Norwood will lead it off. He'll be in left field. Rod Carew will be at first base. He'll bat second. Danny Ford in center field, having a great year, will hit third. Jose Morales will be the designated hitter, and he'll bat cleanup. Bombo Rivera will be in right field. He'll bat 5th. Larry Wolf will be at third base, and he'll bat in the 6th spot. Roy Smalley will be at shortstop, and he'll bat 7th. Bobby Randall at second base, and he'll bat 8th. And Glenn Boardman behind the plate doing the catching and batting 9th. On the mound, Roger Erickson, who just a year ago today was drafted in the 3rd round by the Minnesota Twins, going for the Twins here just a year later, and he's already won 6 ball games in the major leagues. He has won 6, and he has lost 3. Manager Bob Lemon and manager Gene Mauch of the White Sox and the Twins down at the home plate area, going over the ground rules here on the White Sox first visit into the Twin Cities in 1978. A year ago, the White Sox won 4 and lost 3 in this ballpark. Overall, they beat the Twins 10 times and lost 5 times. Earlier this year, the clubs had a 2-game setup at Comiskey Park, and only one was able to be played because weather washed out the second game, and the White Sox won that one game 7-2, beating Roger Erickson. By the way, the rainout game will be made up as part of a doubleheader on the next homestand when the White Sox have their longest homestand of the year, 15 games, which will conclude with a 4-game set against these Minnesota Twins, and that will happen on the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th of June. Elsewhere in baseball today, Cincinnati snapped the Cubs' 5-game winning streak 9-6. Bill Bonham beat his former teammates. He's now 7-0. Burris, the loser, 3-4. Kingman, his 12th home run of the year, 21,000 plus at Wrigley Field. San Diego Montreal beat San Diego 4-0 in the first game of a doubleheader, but San Diego leads the second game 2-0 at the end of 1. Phillies leading the Giants 2-0 at the end of 2. Houston at Pittsburgh. Los Angeles is at New York, and Atlanta at St. Louis. In the American League, Toronto's at Milwaukee are at Cleveland tonight for a twilight doubleheader. Kansas City's at Texas. Detroit is at Milwaukee. New York is at Seattle, and California is just getting underway in a ball game against the Oakland A's. The Yankees out at Seattle, that game will not start until late. Ladies and gentlemen, from Minnesota, we invite you to enjoy our national anthem. Take a look at a quick update in the major leagues. Luzinski has just homered for the Phillies, his 10th of the year in the 3rd with nobody on, and the Phillies are out in front of San Francisco now 3-0, and that game at the end of 3 innings of play. Phillies 3, San Francisco 0 on Luzinski's 10th home run of the year. San Diego at Montreal, that second game now at the end of 3 innings of play, 2-0 San Diego after Montreal won the opener. A lot of rain going on around the country. We understand it's been raining in the Chicago area, and there have been some storm warnings, so periodically our news folks back at WMAQ will be breaking in on the ball game and keeping you up to date as to the latest weather-wise. At St. Louis, Atlanta is sending Necro to the mound, 5-6. Falcone, who's won none and lost 4, will be going for the St. Louis Cardinals. The batteries or the starting pitchers, I should say, at Kansas City and Texas are Hassler going against Alexander, and the batteries at Oakland tonight, of the 4 people in the 2 batteries, 3 were with the White Sox a year ago. California sending Brett to the mound. Downing will catch. Oakland going with Worth, and Essien will catch. So we're all set for baseball. Thad Bosley will lead it off, hitting .327, a homer, and 5 RBIs. Bosley batting from the left side. Right-hander Erickson delivers, and it's a strike with a fastball. Bosley will be followed by Gar and Orta. White Sox have 5 straight left-handed hitters in the lineup. Outfield plays Bosley straight away. Here's the pitch, swing and a foul up the screen. Twins making an announcement here. Here's the pitch, a swinging. The Twins announcing they just signed their #1 draft choice from yesterday, a shortstop by the name of Baito. Two strikes to Bosley. Bobby Cadopp coaching at third, Minnie Minoso at first. Erickson ready, delivers. Swing and a base hit to left. So Bosley gets a hit off of Erickson. Erickson from Springfield, Illinois, played baseball for Ron Maestri, a Chicago area product, down at the University of New Orleans. And Ralph Gar, the batter. This is the 14th start of the year for Erickson, which ties him with Dennis Martinez, the league lead in that regard. Ralph Gar hitting .275, 2 homers, and 10 RBIs. Ralph has had 4 hits in his last 9 times up, including 2 RBIs. There goes the runner. Here's the punt, fouled straight back to the screen. So 1 strike to the batter. Erickson was beaten by the White Sox and Rich Wortham 7-2 up at Chicago. He allowed all 7 runs on 11 hits and struck out 2. Since that game, he has not lost. He had a no decision against Baltimore, and then he went on to win 4 in a row. The most recent, 4-2 over the Tigers on Friday. He was signed a year ago after being drafted a year ago today in the 3rd round. Pitched at Orlando a year ago. Here's a toss over to first, and Bosley dives back in. Rod Carew holding the runner on. Carew at first, Bobby Randall at second, Roy Smalley at short, and Larry Wolf at third, with Glenn Borgman doing the catching. Now the umpire wants to see the baseball because Rod Carew, when he got it, was wiping something off the bag with it. Out the outfield, Pombo Rivera in right field, Dan Ford in center, and Willie Norwood in left. Out of the stretch, toss over to first again. The runner dives back in. Greg Kosk doing the umpiring tonight behind home plate. Jerry Neudecker over at first, Maloney at second, and Jim McKeon at third. We had some rain here this morning, and the field just a little damp. Here's a toss to first. Let's go back to WMAQ for this weather bulletin.
We interrupt this broadcast for an emergency weather bulletin from the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning now, effective until 8:30 this evening for these counties in Illinois: Kane, DuPage, Will, and Kendall counties. At 7:25, a funnel cloud was reported 5 miles west of St. Charles. The National Weather Service has also issued a tornado warning, effective until 7:45 for McHenry and Lake counties in Illinois. The warning for Cook and DuPage expired 11 minutes ago. In any case, a tornado watch is valid until midnight tonight for north central and northeastern Illinois, southeast Wisconsin, and south Lake Michigan. Again, the National Weather Service issuing a tornado warning effective until 8:30 for Kane, DuPage, Will, and Kendall counties in Illinois. Now back to the baseball game.
Lauren Brown back at Minnesota. Gar has fouled off a couple of pitches. There goes the runner. Here's a swing and another foul back to the screen. That's happened 3 times since we sent it back to the station, so you haven't missed a thing. The White Sox, in their last 10 ball games, have won 9. Twice they've collected back-to-back shutouts, including the last 2 victories over the Cleveland Indians. Known to report on the wire that Cleveland game may have been rained out. They hosting Toronto in a doubleheader tonight. Right-hander out of the stretch. Tosses again over to first. Runner back. Not only good news from the Major League front, good news in the White Sox minor league system, and a lot of local boys doing well. Here's the pitch, runner not going, the swing and a foul up the screen. So Erickson has thrown a lot of pitches here to Ralph Garr. Now Carew goes over to talk to him. Let's see, he had a 0-2 pitch on Bosley, and Bosley had fouled off a pitch before he singled, so at least 4 pitches to Bosley. Garr has fouled off at least 6 pitches. That'd be 10. He's got 2 strikes on him. But those were on foul balls. Right-hander ready. Oh, Erickson just fell down. A balk. Erickson slipped and fell. They were going to pitch out. Boardman jumped out, and Erickson slipped and fell. Remember, we mentioned to you there's been some rain here today. In fact, we got up this morning, looked like there wasn't going to be any baseball. I guess most of the rain went south. You're getting it in Illinois, and a lot of minor league games in Iowa have already been rained out, according to the ticker. Now Boardman out to the mound, and the White Sox with a runner in scoring position as Roger Erickson balks. Count remains, no balls and 2 strikes. The Phillies 3, San Francisco nothing at the end of 4. Phillies 2 come from behind, wins in a row over the Giants. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a base hit to right center field. Bosley will come around third. He's going to be waved on, and he'll score. And the White Sox are out in front early here, 1-0 on a single, a balk, and a single. Ralph Garr now with 5 hits in his last 10 times up, driving home 3 runs. That's his 11th RBI of the year. And the batter is George Orta. Georgie hitting .280 with 7 homers and 30 RBIs. Went 2 for 4 last night and doubled home, won the White Sox 3 runs as they stopped Cleveland 3-0. It's the 3rd straight left-hander to face Erickson. Right-hander delivers. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. Rogers' Uncle Don used to pitch for the Phillies. Was in their organization for a while. Was up to the big league club briefly. One other famous pitcher from Springfield, many years in the big leagues, by the name of Robin Roberts. Here's the pitch. High a ball. Springfield has produced a goodly share of pro football and basketball players. A couple of ex-Chicago athletes. Billy Stone played with the Bears. Ray Ramsey with the Cardinals and the Rockets. Here's a toss to first. Garr is picked off. Garr leaning the wrong way, just got picked off. It'll go caught stealing because he was leaning the other way. The throw came over to Carew, and he couldn't get back in time. And there's 1 out. Caught stealing goes 1-3, and now the bases are empty with 1 out. Well, you'd think Ralph would know. The kid's got a pretty good move over there. He almost got Bosley a couple of times. Here's a pitch outside a ball. Sneaky quick, I guess is the way you could term it. Right-hander ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Here's a swing and a long drive. Deep to right center field, way back. It is gone. A home run for Orta. And the White Sox are out in front 2-0. Had it not been for that pickoff, they'd have a 3-run lead. Orta belting his 8th home run of the year, and that was a shot. Right center field. Over 400 feet away from home plate. In fact, the Twinsogram have judged it at 423 feet. And the White Sox lead 2-0. 3 straight hits off of Erickson. Now Gene Mauch out to talk to the youngster. Chicago's about the only team that's really roughed him up this year, though he has 2 other losses besides the loss to the White Sox. Well, let's see. Robin Roberts, Billy Stone, Ray Ramsey, Dick Schofield played many years in the Pirate Cardinal and Dodger organization from Springfield. Dutch Leonard, I guess you could say he's a Springfield boy. Actually, he's from Auburn, about a few miles south of the capital city. Here's the pitch to Jim Brazil, and it's outside of ball. Jimmy hitting .375 with 6 RBIs since coming up from the minors. Got this club off on their fast start on this road trip going, here's a swing and a miss. Went 3 for 4 and drove in 3 runs in the first game on this road trip against Kansas City. Well, we got a great crowd here tonight. There's a called strike, strike 2. Every left-hander up has gotten a hit off of Erickson, and the White Sox lead 2-0. Here's the pitch. Low a ball. Now let's go back to Chicago for this weather bulletin.
We interrupt this broadcast for the
Strike. Henry. Here's the 1-1 pitch inside a ball. You joined us late. Bosley singled. Was balked to second. Garr singled him home, and Garr was promptly picked off first. And then George Orta hit a home run to make it 2-0. Here's a swing and a foul upstairs. Orta, in his last 5 ball games, has 4 hits. A single, a double, a triple, and a home run. He's had 3 hits here in the last 2 games, double, single, and a homer. Here's the pitch. Fastball struck him out in the inside corner. So after giving up 3 straight hits, Erickson comes back to strike out Brazil swinging, and a called third strike. He blows by Henry Cruz. So in the first, the White Sox come up with 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We're at the end of a half inning of play. The White Sox 2, Minnesota coming to bat.
Under your hood, if it's running good, there's a motor in the place where the motor goes. And in the motor, there's 4, 6, or 8 little holes where something that's called a spark plug goes. And that's what makes the motor run good under the hood. If the plugs you use are champion. Because champions do what you want them to do. When you turn on the key, they're waiting on you. So if you've got 4, 6, or 8 little holes where the spark plug goes, buy better plugs than champions. We got a plug for any kind of car. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are. So if you got 4, 6, or 8 little holes where the spark plug goes, you can't buy a better plug than champions. Now. Of course, champions do what you want them to do. Give you better mileage and performance too. So if you've got 4, 6, or 8 little holes where the spark plug goes, you can't buy a better plug than champions. You can't buy a better plug than champions.
Warren Brown back at the Met in Bloomington, Minnesota, as we go to the bottom of the first. Ken Kravick getting his warm-up tosses, and his White Sox teammates have staked him to a 2-run lead here. This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Chicago White Sox solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this play-by-play description and the account of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago White Sox is prohibited. Harry Carey, Jimmy Pearsall, and I are employees of and are paid by WMAQ Radio for our play-by-play descriptions and accounts of these games. WMAQ and the Chicago White Sox share mutual rights of announcer approval. Willie Norwood leads it off for Minnesota. Left fielder hitting .245, 3 homers and 12 RBIs. He'll be followed by Rod Carew and Dan Ford. Ken Kravick on the mound for the White Sox. Kenny, after his 3rd consecutive win following a 3-2 win over Oakland and in Chicago and a 9-5 decision beating Kansas City. Here's the swing and a miss. Kravick, in beating Oakland 3-2, started this White Sox spree that has seen them win 9 of their last 10 ball games. Left-hander from Middleburg Heights, Ohio, defeated Minnesota once and lost once a year ago, and sustained a loss against the Twins 2 years ago, so lifetime he's 1-2 against them. Outfield playing the batter to go to the opposite field. Here's the pitch, and it's outside a ball. The outfield tonight of Ralph Garr in left, Thad Bosley in center, and Henry Cruz in right. Chet Lemon out of the lineup with various nagging injuries. Left-hander ready. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and he just missed the ball. Bill Naharodny doing the catching tonight. Jim Brazil at first, George Ort at second, Alan Bannister at short, and Eric Soderholm at third. 2 balls and a strike. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's inside. Ball 3. Kravick has won 3, and he has lost 4 with an earned run average of 5.36. Left-hander delivers. Here's a pitch high, a ball. He walked him. Since coming back from the minors, this is his 4th start. His previous three had it would be his fifth start. He had a no decision at Oakland. He got beat at California, and then he's won his last two games at home against Oakland and on the road against Kansas City. So the tying run steps up in the form of one Rod Carew, hitting .371, 5 homers, and 32 RBIs. Here's a toss over to first, the runner back. Carew leading the major leagues in hitting again with the .371 average. Soderholm playing in at third. Here's the pitch to Carew. Wanted a bunt and missed it. A cool but pleasant evening here in Minnesota. The sun is still shining. Bad weather that we had this morning has moved on. Our winds tonight, by the way, will aid the left-handed hitters. Here's a toss over to first. Blowing about 10 to 15 miles an hour from the left field foul line to right field. Here's another toss to first. Norwood back 2-0. The White Sox are out in front. Kravic has defeated Toronto and Oakland and Chicago. He's beaten Kansas City on the road for his 3 victories. His losses have been to Detroit and Baltimore at home and to New York and California on the road. There goes the runner. Here's the pitch. Strike. Here's a throw to second. He is safe. Stolen base. Carew took strike 2. And Naharodny's throw just did miss getting him. And Norwood credited with a stolen base. And for the big left fielder of the Twins, it is his 13th of the year high in the ball club. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3, struck him out. Boy, I'll tell you, you don't see Carew get called out on strikes too often. In fact, coming into tonight's game, Carew had struck out only 19 times in 186 times at bat. So Danny Ford's the batter. He's had a great season. Center fielder hitting .310, 6 homers, and 31 RBIs. Ford had been in right field last year with Heisel in left and Bostock in center. They're now gone to Milwaukee and California. So Ford has been moved over to center field. So a runner at second now with 1 out. Kravic ready, and the pitch. The right-handed hitter, a swing and a grounder to Soderholm at third. He's got it, and he throws him out easily after holding the runner at second, and there's 2 out. You know, the White Sox, winners of 9 of their last 10 ball games, over that period, the 10 games, the White Sox team earned run average has been 2.53. And that includes a ball game where they gave up 13 runs on Sunday. In their 9 victories in the last 10 games, the earned run average is 1.50. Just a remarkable job by this pitching staff. Beating Oakland, California, taking 2 out of 3 at Kansas City, taking 2 straight from the Indians in their park. Here's the pitch, strike in the outside corner. Jose Morales, the batter, hitting .305, no homers, and 11 RBIs, and he's batting for the 500th time, say the Twin press notes, in his major league career. Now, Kravic takes his foot off the rubber. Bannister made a break for second. Jose Morales. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Morales was with Montreal a year ago. Came to the plate only 74 times, hit .203, a homer, and 9 RBIs. He had the most prolific season of any pinch hitter in the major leagues in 1976. He pinch hit in 82 games, 1 more than Elmer Vallo's record for the Twins in their final season at Washington. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Now Narodny drops the ball, throws to first, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits. One man left on, with Kravik striking out a pair. So we're at the end of one complete inning of play. It's the White Sox 2, the Twins nothing.
The best place to shop for a Father's Day gift for Dad is where he shops for himself, at a nearby True Value hardware store. Hi, Pat Summerall to suggest a gift that will help keep Dad in tune with the busy summer ahead. A General Electric portable radio. For example, the General Electric AM/FM TV band portable will help him tune in his favorite AM or FM music station, news program, or sporting event, or the audio portion of his favorite TV program on VHF channels 2 through 13. It runs on house current or with batteries, and it's priced at just $34.88. Or choose the General Electric AM/FM pocket portable radio from True Value hardware stores. It has a 2.5-inch speaker, direct tuning with horizontal readout, and a telescoping FM antenna for better reception. It's priced at only $12.99. See the complete selection of General Electric portable radios at participating True Value hardware stores. Remember, True Value is more than just a name. It's our way of doing business.
Lauren Brown back in Minnesota as we go to the second inning. The White Sox leading here by a score of 2-0. Well, Falcone, having his problems, has not won a game this year, has lost 4 for the Cardinals. He just got knocked out in the first inning as Atlanta scored 5 runs. Urea in the first, and we're checking the ticker. Somebody hit a grand slam homer for Atlanta. Here's the pitch to Ron Blomberg, leading it off, and he takes the ball outside. Blomberg hitting .203, 3 homers and 7 RBIs. Here's the pitch to him, and it's low ball. Blomberg, his last 9 times up, has had 3 hits. They've all been doubles. Not been playing an awful lot, but employed here tonight as the designated hitter. Here's a fastball for a strike in the outside corner. Biff Porokoba. Pokaroba. I always want to put an R in there. Vic. Here's the pitch outside. Biff Pokaroba. Hit his second of the year for Atlanta in the first, with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul down the left side. It'll be out of play. Boy, a lot of grand slam home runs this year. Kingman got one yesterday for the Cubs. Dick Davis at Milwaukee got one the other day. Milwaukee's hosting Detroit tonight. That game's been held up because of rain. Kansas City of Texas held up because of rain. Here's a pitch low and inside a ball. He walked it. That's the first walk given up by Erickson, and for the second straight inning, the White Sox get their leadoff man on. You're in tune with WMAQ Radio, Chicago, Illinois, where you'll hear White Sox baseball home and away, night and day, here on the 670 spot on your dial. So again, we invite you to keep your socks on, WMAQ. Bill Narodny, the batter. White Sox catcher hitting .252 with 5 homers and 19 RBIs. Erickson out of the stretch delivers a slider for a strike in the outside corner. Erickson, basically a slider fastball pitcher, learned how to throw a curve in spring training and won himself a job in a major league club. He was not on the big league roster. He was an invitee to the big league camp. Here's the pitch. Swinging a grounder up the middle. Might get through. It does. A base hit. Here goes Blomberg, headed for third. And the throw comes into second. The White Sox have runners at first and third and nobody out. As now Narodny bounces one up the middle. And the batter will be Alan Bannister. Allen, hitting .156 this year, has not been in a lot of ball games. He's been up 32 times with 5 hits, 2 of them doubles. Now Carew wants to talk to Erickson. Rogers, 6'3", 180-pounder. Won 8 and lost 4 in 16 ball games last year with a remarkable earned run average of 1.98 at Orlando in the Southern League. The infield playing in. Here's the pitch to Allen, and it's outside a ball. Carew holding the runner on at first. Randall about 3 feet off the edge of the infield grass at second. Same goes for Smalley at short. as well as Wolf at third. Well, they give Allen a lot of room down the left side. They play him to go the other way. Here's a toss to first, and Naharodny back. And we're going to get some activity in the Twins bullpen. White Sox leading here 2-0 and threatening in the second. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's a called strike. Max Scarce, a left-hander, loosening up. Tell you one thing you got to like about this White Sox lineup in an incident like tonight, where a right-hander is starting. Manager Bob Lemon has loaded this lineup. Here's the pitch, and it's outside a ball with left-handed hitters. Now, say a fellow like Max Scarce comes into the ball game. He's still able to come back with right-handers on the bench. Okay. Now, if they bring in another right-hander, he still has a couple of more left-handers on the bench, namely Bob Molinaro. Let's see, he's got Molinaro. That might be it tonight because he's inserted so many left-handed hitters into the lineup. Cruz had to be employed when Lemon could not be played. Usually Cruz and Molinaro are on the bench. Here's a pitch outside a ball, 3-1. A bad one would load the bases for Eric Soderholm. Eric's in a little upset. Bannister looking down to Bobby Knopf for the sign as Bloomberg takes a short lead off of third. And Naharodny with a slight lead off of first. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Swing and a grounder foul between the first base bag and Vinny Minoso. Well, let's see. I think because of Cruz being employed in the lineup tonight, that does take that maneuverability away, with the exception of Molinaro, as Bannister gets a new bat. He had broken his. Well, we have Kessinger as a switch hitter. Though Don's wrist has been bothering him. Boy, did a super job last night coming into the ninth inning. And the middleman in that game-ending double play. Here's a toss over to first. Yeah, the only tonight with manager Lemon going with 6 left-handed hitters in the lineup. Only Molinaro on the bench. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a looper into right field, a base hit. White Sox lead 3-0, and Naharodny holds up at second base. So Alan Bannister driving in his first run of the year, and the White Sox are out in front 3-0. Well, again, that leadoff walk comes around to score, bearing up that 70% theory. And Eric Soderholm, the batter, hitting .203, 3 homers and 18 RBIs. Eric still in the throes of a slump, had been 0 for 14, and then he got 2 straight hits. And now he's 0 for 9. Here's the pitch. Almost hit him high under his chin. He almost got a face full of baseballs. Carew coming in looking for the bunt, and that pitch high and inside. And now time is called as a ball got loose down in the Minnesota bullpen. So Eric, with only 2 hits in his last 23 times up. Eric, as I recall, hit pretty well against these guys, his former teammates a year ago. Let's check. White Sox belted more home runs against this club a year ago than anybody. Here's the pitch. It almost hit him. It did. Out, the umpire saying it hit his bat first and then hit him in the shoulder. And that evens the count at 1-1. So the count is even 1-1. Soderholm a year ago against his former teammates hit .261, belted 2 homers and 3 RBIs against them. 1 ball, 1 strike. White Sox, a season ago, here's the pitch. It almost hit him this time. In fact, it did. Hit him in the hand. All 3 pitches inside. The Twins arguing about it. Here comes Charlie Sadd. Every pitch to him was high and tight. The first one almost hit him in the jaw. He got out of the way. The second one hit him in the shoulder after hitting his bat. And this one hits him in the right hand, and the bases are loaded. Nobody out, a run is in. And Thad Bosley's the batter. Bosley singled and scored the first White Sox run. A year ago, against this club, the White Sox hit 24 home runs and drove in 97 runs. They also hit 24 against Seattle. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch to Bosley. Swing and a miss. Bosley was in the hole 0-2 in the first inning when he singled, advanced to second on a balk, and came home on a Ralph Garr single. Forte hit a home run in the inning after Garr had been picked off, and the White Sox had posted a pair. Now they have got 4 straight men on, and a walk, a pair of singles, and a hit batsman, and lead 3-0. Here's the pitch way outside, a ball. Erickson now has given up 10 runs to the White Sox in less than 9 innings this year. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a fly ball to left. Should score the runner from third. Norwood has it. Here's the throw in, and coming in to score is Bill Naharadny, and it's a 4-0 ball game as Bosley drives in his 6th run of the year. And there's 1 out. The runners at first and second, Soderholm and Bannister, remain at their bases, and the batter will be Ralph Garr. So only 1 out, 4-0 ball game. Erickson won his first game that he pitched in the major leagues, beating Seattle 5-4. Then he went the distance and beat California, only allowing them 1 run. He lost his first game of the year to Seattle. Here's the pitch outside a ball. Then he got beat by California, evening up his record at 2-2. Then he got beat by the White Sox. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss. So his record was 2-3, having lost to Seattle, California, and the White Sox. But since that time, he's come on to win 4 consecutive ball games over Kansas City, over Texas twice, and over Detroit. But he's had his problems with Chicago. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Outside and high, a ball, 2-1. White Sox got to him for 7 runs on 11 hits in 7 innings. In Chicago, and here tonight, just in an inning and a third, have scored 4 runs on 5 hits. Right-hander ready, runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a grounder to short, could be 2. He boots the ball right through his legs. 1 run is in. Here comes a runner going to third, and Smalley may be hurt. The ball went right through his legs, and he twisted and turned and fell down, and he may be hurt. And the White Sox lead 5-0. Roy Smalley Jr. Ball went right through his legs, and then his ankles gave way. Twin trainer out there with him, Rod Carew, checking him. Well, you hate to say like father, like son, but Smalley has already committed 13 errors in 51 games this year. He's really had a problem. That ball was just right at him. So it's an error on Smalley. Bannister scoring and Soderholm going to third. No RBI for Garr. And the White Sox lead 5-0. A potential inning-ending double play. The Twins now have made 53 errors this year. And this is their 52nd game of the year, and they have made 53 errors. White Sox have made but 34 in 50 games. So they continue to examine Smalley. Manager Gene Mauch out there with him. Smalley is the nephew of Gene Mauch. And while this is taking place, Roger Erickson getting in some warm-up tosses. Let's take a look at other baseball. Atlanta leading the Cardinals 5-0. They have a rain delay at Philadelphia. Now, that game is an official ball game, but they're tied up. They're at the end of 5, and it's 3-3 as San Francisco posted 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning. Philadelphia did not score in the bottom of the 5th when the rains came. Elsewhere, Montreal beat San Diego 4-0 in the first game of a doubleheader. They're all tied up at 2-2 at the end of 4 in the second game. Houston at Pittsburgh, LA at New York. We gave you the Atlanta Cardinal game, and this afternoon, Cincinnati defeated the Cubs by a score of 9-6. As Mock left the shortstop area talking to Smalley, he goes to the mound, and that is all for Roger Erickson. Max Scares coming in the ball game. Erickson pitched only 1 in the 3rd innings, allowing 5 runs on 5 hits. He walked a man, he struck out 2, and he hit a man. And Max Scares, the new pitcher, 4 of the runs that he gave up were earned, and 1 unearned. This afternoon, Cincinnati beat the Cubs 9-6. Bonham over Burris. Kingman hit a home run, so you're up to date in the National League. We'll check the American League and what Max Scares has done right after this message.
Let's swing into spring. Your participating Chicago area Shell dealer is offering 2 reserved White Sox tickets free when you purchase an oil change, oil filter, air filter, and lubrication. You'll score every time with free Sox tickets, plus quality products and great service. Yes, the Sox are back, so join your local Shell dealer in cheering them on. But hurry, this offer expires June 16th, 1978, and is good only while ticket supplies last. Your participating Shell dealer wants to see you at Comiskey Park.
Max Scares, the left-hander on the mound, has been in the Reds organization the last couple of years, has won 1 and lost 1, no saves to his credit, and an earned run average of 4.50, making his 14th appearance of the year for the Twins, all in relief. He signed as a free agent with Minnesota last year, 6'3", 193-pounder. From Marietta, Georgia. Was at Tampa and Indianapolis last year. Indianapolis in 76 and also part of 75. Here's the pitch to George Jordan, a swing and a miss. Scares originally with the Phillies, won 1 and lost 2 with them in 72. Was 1-8 in 73, 3-8 in 74. Then he went with the Mets without a record. Overall, he has won 5 and lost 18 in the National League, now 1-1 in the American League. Tosses over to first, the runner back. 5-0 White Sox lead. Runners at first and third, only 1 out here in the second inning. Ken Kravick has been the benefactor of a lot of runs on this road trip. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 2. The other night, White Sox scored 9 runs in his behalf, and at one time led 8-0 for him. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a capper foul to the right side. Scares' victory was a relief performance on May the 7th. He went 4 1/3 innings to get his first American League win against the Baltimore Orioles. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Orta strikes out. So they're 2 out now with runners at first and third, and Jim Brazil, the batter. And let's go back to Chicago for this weather bulletin.
We interrupt this broadcast for an emergency weather bulletin from the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service has now issued a severe thunderstorm warning effective until 9:15 this evening for Lake and Porter counties in Indiana. The National Weather Service's tornado warning effective until 8:30 for Kane, DuPage, Will, Kendall, and Cook counties, including Chicago, continues for another 12 minutes. A tornado watch remains in effect until midnight in any case in north central and northeastern Illinois and over southern Lake Michigan. Again, the National Weather Service giving a severe thunderstorm warning now, effective until 9:15 for Lake and Porter counties in Indiana. The tornado warning continuing to be effective in Cook, Kane, DuPage, Will, and Kendall counties in Illinois until 8:35. Now back to the ball game.
Warren Brown back in Minnesota. Bobo Brazil, the batter, took 2 balls and then just swung and missed. So the count, 2 balls and a strike. Runners at first and third. 3 runs are in here in the second. White Sox leading the Twins 5-0. Here's the pitch. Low ball gets away from the catcher, but not far enough to allow the runners to advance. So the count goes to 3-1, and a bad one would load the bases for Henry Cruz. White Sox with 2 runs in the first, a single by Bosley, a balk. Gar singled him home, then was picked off the first, and then Orta hit a home run, making it 2-0. Have come up with 3 runs here in this inning. Here's the pitch, and it's a called strike, 3-2. Bloomberg walked, Naharodny singled, Bannister singled Bloomberg home. Eric Soderholm was hit by a pitch. Bosley drove home a runner with a sacrifice fly. Gar got on an error with a runner scoring. Then Scarce came in for Erickson. Struck out Orta, now has a 3-2 count on Bobo Brazil. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swinging a grounder, foul to the right side. Those other American League games, Kansas City at Texas, Detroit at Milwaukee, held up because of rain. And no word at all out of Cleveland. They were to have a twilight doubleheader there with Toronto tonight. California and Oakland playing quite early out on the coast, and there's no score at the end of 1 inning of play. That might be a doubleheader. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Outside a ball. He walked in. The bases are loaded. Soderholm remains at third. Gar goes to second, and Brazil down to first. The bases are loaded for the second time tonight, in this inning, as a matter of fact. And Henry Cruz, the batter, facing Scarce for the first time. Henry was called out on strikes in the first inning, facing Roger Erickson. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Fastball for a strike. Scarce has been around a while, signed, as we mentioned, as a free agent, and went to camp as a non-roster player. His lone loss this year, by the way. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a base hit to right. 1 run is in. Here comes another man around to score. There goes Brazil racing to third, and the White Sox lead 7-0. Henry Cruz drives home a couple of runs, his 7th and 8th of the year. Brazil goes to third after Soderholm. And Gar scored. So Ron Bloomberg, who started the whole inning off by walking's the batter. 10th man to bat in the inning. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Seven to nothing. The last time Craven an 8-0 lead against Kansas City. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. 2 runs in the first, 5 runs here in the second. Left-hander out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Outside a ball. Scarce 6'3", 193-pounder. Left-hander delivers. Here's a swing and a shot into left center. A base hit. Another run is in. 8-0. Center fielder drops the ball. The runner goes to second and third. The throw to second. He is out. But a base hit for Bloomberg. Driving in a run. Brazil coming home. Cruz going to third, and then Bloomberg trying to go to second was thrown out from 8 to 6 to 4. But in the inning, the White Sox come up with 6 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error in the inning, and one man left on. So for the second straight outing, Ken Kravick has been staked to an 8-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second inning.
6 seconds showing on the clock. Here's the snap. Kowalski fades, throws, touchdown. Hi, this is Kurt Gowdy for your Clark Lift Truck dealer. In the early days of football, it wasn't uncommon to see as many as 20, even 25 players on a side. Finally, in 1880, the great Walter Camp changed the rules of football and set a new standard with the 11-man team. Today, Clark has doubled its warranty protection and set a new standard for customer protection. Now all new Clark models are completely covered for 6 months or 1,000 hours of operation with several components guaranteed for a full year. Talk about the new double warranty protection with your Clark dealer and tell him Gowdy sent you.
Talk to your Clark Lift of Chicago dealer in Hammond, where lift truck service is the name of the game. That's Clark Lift of Chicago, the lift truck people.
The time is right. That feeling's coming through. Real beer lovers know only one beer will do. Stroh's for the real beer lovers. Stroh's tastes like no other. Stroh's for the real beer lover. From one beer lover to another Stroh's. The Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan.
Well, the White Sox leading 8-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. Only 2 runs in that last inning were earned against the team. Though the runs, 1 run on Scarce was earned individually. Erickson allowed 4 earned runs. Here's the first pitch, a strike to the leadoff man, Bombo Rivera. The White Sox in this streak, including this ball game, left-hander Kravick delivers. There's a pitch outside a ball. Now have had 3 games in which they have had innings of 6 runs or more. Now they got 11 runs in the 5th inning at home against California. And here on this road trip, both times with Kravick pitching, they've scored 6 runs in an inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a grounder to short. Alan Bannister has it, throws across in the dirt, and it goes away in the dirt. Back to the screen, runner going to second in a throw by Naharodny. Too late, and it'll be a 2-base error on Bannister. Routine ground ball. Allen had 1 play last night. He threw on a line to first, but this one in the dirt. So a runner at second, nobody out. And the batter, Larry Wolf, third baseman, hitting .250 with 2 homers and 7 RBIs. Kravick ready. Here's the pitch. And it's a strike. Letter high, caught the outside corner. White Sox with 2 in the first and 6 in the second. Trying to win their 10th game in their last 11 outings. Kravick ready, delivers. And it's a strike in the outside corner. Out the front of the batter, 2 strikes. California and Oakland, no score. That game in the bottom of the second inning. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a grounder, foul to the left side. Yep, that is a doubleheader at Oakland. John Carmody and friends are here from Oak Park, Illinois. Quite a few Chicagoans, as a matter of fact, here tonight. Left-hander delivers. Here's the pitch outside a ball. Warren McAvee is here. Wanted to say hello to his wife and children back in Chicago. He's here on business. As are Scott and Brian They haven't been home in 2 weeks. They say we'll freeze, but we shall win. Well, it's really not that cold tonight. A ball and 2 strikes. Runner at second, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3, struck him out. Third strikeout by Kravick as he caught the outside corner. And there's 1 out. And Roy Smalley, the batter, hitting .262, 4 homers and 22 RBIs. Fans boo him. He had a lot of errors a year ago. And he's committed 13 already this year. Kravick ready. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a long fly ball, curving foul and out of play. A year ago, he made 33 errors, and he has made 13 this year. Really having a tough time in the field. Mort Flynn, Chicago fireman, and Ray Foley are here. Visiting their friends, the Kennedys. Taking in the White Sox twin game. Here's a breaking ball for a strike. Good curveball. Montreal just got 3 more in the 5th. They lead San Diego 5-2 at the end of 5, trying to sweep a doubleheader. Left-hander delivers. Here's the pitch, and it just missed a ball. Play is resumed at Philadelphia. Tied up at the end of 5. Here's the pitch inside. Missed with a fastball. That game now in the 6th inning. Giants 3, Philadelphia 3. These Minnesota Twins will be in Chicago on their next homestand, which is the longest of the year. It'll feature Cleveland, Richie Zisk, and the Texas Rangers, Kansas City's Royals for a big 4-game weekend series, then Seattle, and then the Twins for a 4-game weekend series. Left-hander ready, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 4 strikeouts for Kravick. So there's 2 out, and Randall, the second baseman, the batter, hitting .268, no homers and 8 RBIs. The most that Kravick has struck out in one ball game was 5 Detroit Tigers and 5 Oakland Athletics. He got 5 Tigers in 4 1/3 innings in a game that he lost to Detroit at Comiskey Park. And he struck out 5 Oakland A's in that 3-2 victory that started this winning streak for the White Sox. Kravick takes his foot off the rubber. Boy, a lot of activities going on in that next homestand, so make your reservations by going to Comiskey Park tomorrow or dialing our Call Sox lines from 9 to 5. Here's a breaking ball for a strike. Be home Monday night. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Swinging a grounder to short. Bannister's there. He's got it. Throws across. This time he got him. In the inning, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on. So we're at the end of 2 complete innings of play. The White Sox 8, Minnesota nothing. Warren Brown back at the Met in Bloomington. We go to the 3rd. The White Sox leading 8-0. Well, usually we say this about now for our guys at HFC, but Ed J. hoping the White Sox score a bundle tonight. Well, let's just hope, Eddie, they shut him out the rest of the way as the Sox lead it here 8-0. And Bill Naharodny leads it off. Naha singled in that 6-run second inning, and the first pitch is outside a ball. Naharodny will be followed by Bannister and Soderholm, the bottom 3rd of the order. Left-hander delivers. Here's the pitch, a swing and a grounder to Smalley at short. He's got it. Throws. He got him. Fans cheering Smalley, I think, in a derision. So there's one out, and Alan Bannister, the batter. Oh, if the White Sox should happen to get shut out pitching tonight from Kravik, here's the pitch, and it's outside a ball. It would mark the third straight game that the White Sox would have a shutout. The last time the Sox did that was back in 1973 when Wilbur Wood, Stan Bonson, and Eddie Fisher, here's a strike in the outside corner, defeated the Orioles and then the Yankees twice. 1 ball, 1 strike to Allen. That was back on May 2nd, 4th, and 5th in 1973. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike. A ball and 2 strikes to Bannister. Leadoff man was retired for the first time tonight as Scarce delivers, and it's outside a ball, evens the count 2-2. White Sox got 7 runs off of Roger Erickson, 4 earned in an inning and a third. There's a pitch inside a ball. The White Sox have scored 14 runs on 16 hits in 8 1/3 innings in 2 appearances off of Erickson this year. Left-hander ready. Here's the 3-2 delivery to Bannister. Swinging a topper foul to the left side. Nice crowd on hand. Twins coming into tonight's game, 21 victories and 30 losses. White Sox a half a game in front of them, 21 and 29. The White Sox are only 4.5 games behind California, 5 games behind Texas, and 7 behind Kansas City. Here's the pitch, swinging a fly ball to left. Norwood going back near the warning track, and he reaches up and grabs it. And after catching it, is a step and a half away from the warning track in left center field. Allen gave it a ride, and there's 2 down. And the batter will be Soderholm, who was hit by a pitch his first time up, and he came around to score. It's 330 down the right field line, 358 in right, extending out to 370, 410 feet in extreme right center field, and 410 in straightaway center. 406 in left center, and a fastball to Soderholm for a strike. 360 in left, and 343 down the left field line. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, swinging a ground to the left side. Wolf, the third baseman, has it, throws, and he got him. And the White Sox are retired for the first time tonight. 1-2-3. So we go to the bottom of the third. White Sox 8, Minnesota nothing. 8-0. Ken Kravik looks sharp. He has struck out 4 men in 2 innings. He's had 2 men on base, 1 that he walked and another that got on in an error. Due to the popularity of the bullpen, construction is now underway of Bullpen 2. It's a private party room for dinner and entertainment of 16 people. For information and reservations, call the White Sox at 924-1000. That's 924-1000 and ask for Danny or Mike. And if you forget those names, just say Bullpen 2. The operator will be happy to direct your call to the right party. Glenn Borgman, the catcher and the number 9 hitter in the order, leads it off here against Kravik. Right-handed hitter hitting .229 with a homer and 4 RBIs. Takes us. They're getting underway at Milwaukee. Indiana boy, rep logo going for the Milwaukee Brewers. And Slayton, the former Brewer who beat Milwaukee last week in Detroit, going for the Tigers. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitcher's a swing and a grounder. The right side, Orta has it. Throws over to first, and there's 1 out. So there's 1 down. And Willie Norwood, the batter, walked his first time up and stole second. White Sox coming up with 2 runs in the first inning and 6 runs in the second. Left-hander delivers, and it's a strike in the outside corner. And want to send out greetings today to Ray Lindbergh of Bob Burrow Chevrolet. Ray is our Chevrolet salesman of the day. Here's the pitch, swinging a fly ball, short left. Orta going out. And no, he can't get it. Oh, boy. He turned his back the wrong way, And it drops in for a hit. And that is the first hit off of Kravik. Actually, that ball, I said short left, meant to say short right. Right center field actually is where it was. And Georgie, about the only problem that has really been consistent with him this year is being able to handle balls to his right, whether they are popped up or ground balls. And that one was behind him and to his right, and he backpedaled, and then all of a sudden he turned around on it. And it goes down in the books as a hit. Rod Carew, the batter, was called out on strikes his first time up. Swings and fouls one back. Norwood at first with 13 stolen bases, including one tonight. Kravik ready, runner not going. Here's the pitch, strike in the inside corner. Here's the pitch way outside of ball. Tom Johnson, along with Mike Marshall, the aces of the bullpen staff here for Minnesota. Johnson, a right-hander, warming up down in the Twins bullpen. Here's the pitch, and it's outside of ball. 8-0. The White Sox out in front here in the bottom of the third, trying to win their 10th game in their last 11 outings. Outfield playing Carew straight away. Soderholm parallel to the bag at third. Infield a double play up. Brazil holding the runner on. There he goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. And he is safe. The ball goes into the outfield. And it'll be a stolen base and an error. It's the second time Carew is struck out tonight. Indication how sharp Kravik is. 14th stolen base of the year. I would imagine that the error will go on the catcher Naharodny. Bannister, yeah, it is on the catcher. Bannister covering because Carew, a left-handed hitter up, and he had to jump over the bag towards the right field side of second to get it and could not come up with it. So the error goes to Naharodny. And that is the second White Sox error of the night. A runner at third now with 2 out, and Dan Ford, the batter, grounded out to third his first time up. The White Sox pitching has just been sensational in this streak. Last 10 games with an earned run average of 2.54. And if you just count the wins, here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a grounder to short. Bannister has it. Throws across in time, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 man left on. We're at the end of 3 complete innings of play here at the Met. I'm Lauren Brown. Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall will be along in a minute. It's the White Sox 8, Minnesota nothing.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall. In Minnesota, where the White Sox are leading 8-0, 8 runs on 7 hits. We go into the top of the 4th inning. And here's Thad Bosley to lead it off. He has singled, scored, and drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. Here's the windup by Max Scarce. The pitch swung and he missed. 1 strike and nothing. White Sox trying to make it 10 out of their last 11 and 5 out of 6 on this road trip, with 4 more games to go. Now the wind, the pitch. Here it is. Good fastball for a strike call. 2 strikes and nothing. Bosley's in the hole. Not a bad crowd here tonight. Now the wind. The pitch. Low outside. Here's the note. Bruce and Bill from the Village Pub. They left Wrigley Field at 4 o'clock this afternoon after watching the Cubs game. Did he hold up? He's out on strikes, they say. They appealed to the third base umpire who gave the sign. Bosley had tried to stop. But they say he went around. They missed all the fireworks. They missed all 8 runs that the White Sox scored. But they're happy nevertheless.
Hi,
One
Harry.
out. Here's Ralph Gar. Gar, single driving in a run, the first run of the ball game in the first inning. That was safe on an error. Dick and Terry wanting to be remembered to Chicago friends. A bit low.
Hey, Harry, the score 8-0?
Yeah.
Gee. We got 2 walks and 2 one-hit batters in an air. They all scored, huh?
And Kravik should have a no-hitter going.
Sure. Well, we don't care about the no-hitter, Harry. We just want to win. This is a team effort tonight.
2 balls, no strikes. 1 man out. 8-0 in favor of the White Sox. The pitch. A little bit low. Gar. California's taken the lead over Oakland 3-0 in the third. 3 balls, no strikes, the pitch. Strike called. Right in there.
Harry, you ever notice Gar when he's going to take a pitch? It looks like he's going to hit it with his right hand. Don't be a strike. He waves at it with his right hand because he's right over the plate.
Now the wind-up, the pitch. Bouncing ball. Carew coming in. Races to the bag, and it was close. But Gar's out.
I've never seen Gar hustle any more than he's hustling the last month. He is really putting out.
Well, you know, maybe being platoon, more or less. Getting that extra day, maybe, of rest. After all, Ralph now is over 30, where the day of rest could make you bounce back feeling a little better.
Also, competition makes you play better, I found.
Here's Orta. Wow went back to the screen.
Whenever anybody looked like they're going to take my job, you know, automatically you just let out a little bit more. Even though you weren't playing hard, you thought you were.
How come they're starting so early out in Oakland, I wonder? Now the wind-up. Here's a pitch on the way. Curve in there. Let's see. It's got to be...
It's 10-7.
10-7 out there. They must have started, what, 5 o'clock?
There's a twilight doubleheader. Or the city don't want to turn the lights on, so they hope to get the game over with before it's dark.
1-1 pitch. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. See where Charlie Finley signed this kid out of a Las Vegas high school. Gave him a bonus of $50,000 to sign, and he's going to pitch Sunday afternoon in Oakland. Ball inside to Orta. 3 balls and a strike. 2 men are out. White Sox are leading 8-0.
Right-hander warming up, T. Johnson from Minnesota.
Here's the pitch. There's a belt in the right field. Orta singles sharply to right. That will bring up Jim Brazil.
Did you tell him how far that home run that Orta hit?
423 feet.
I want to tell you, that ball just kept going over that right center field. He golfed a low ball. And that time he got another low inside pitch and hit it. If you're going to get Orta out, and you're a left-hander, you got to get him out outside.
So with 2 out, a runner at first, here's Jim Brazil. He struck out and walked. Henry Cruz against a left-hander. Got a base hit driving in 2 runs. There's a fastball high. 1 ball, no strikes. White Sox will be back home Monday night to open a 15-game homestand. Now the pitch. Whoa, it hit him. Or did it hit the bat? It hit. He's claiming it hit him in the arm, but the umpire says, no, it hit the bat. Hey, here's Bob Lemon coming out. The umpire is indicating that it hit the bat first and then the arm.
I'll tell you one thing. Where this umpire stands, he can't miss it because he's standing right up under the inside part of that plate, so...
Now, Bob Lemon is talking to Jim Brazil. And Brazil indicates to him it hit him below the elbow. So now Lemon, the manager of the White Sox, walks back to the dugout.
They got a new thing in baseball, these umpires, this year. If the ball hits below your fist, it hits the bat first, so then it hits you in the fist.
A ball and a strike to count. Jim Brazil digging in. Max Scarce on the mound. The pitch. High, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
Scarce has scarce of velocity. He does not throw very hard. He got pounded by their minor league club 3 nights ago in Toledo, 10-2.
Used to be with the Phillies. There's a dry foul into the right field corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. White Sox out in front, 8-0. 2 in the first, 6 in the second. Ball game in the fourth. Here's the pitch. Curve outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. George Ordo will be going with the pitch. Henry Cruz is next. Now Scarce gets ready. Here's the pitch. Stroud came out swinging. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Harry Carey back in Minnesota. You know, long about here, it's time for a Stroh's commercial. Now, I could read all that stuff. Here's the first pitch, hit hard right back at Kravik, who knocks the ball down. Recovers it, throws, but not in time, and Morales is on with a base hit.
That ball was really hit hard off the glove of Kravik. It went about halfway back towards second. He hustled but slipped on the wet turf. And when he threw, he almost threw wild. And Brazil made a fine play. And now Brazil is looking to see where they want to play the hitter.
Bombo Rivera is going to be the hitter now with a runner at first base. Yeah, I was just saying. If you'll insist on Stroh's beer too, you'll know that Stroh's is made by beer lovers for beer lovers. Now, I am a beer lover. How about you? Here's to your health, my friend. Let's enjoy Stroh's together. Bombo Rivera, right-handed hitter. The right fielder, the pitch. And the curve is outside. Runner at first. Morales hit a line drive off of Kravik's glove. He recovered it, but not in time. Made a wild throw, and Brazil made a good pickup. Ball inside. 8-0. White Sox lead, bottom of the fourth. The first in a 2-game series. 2 balls, no strikes. Good fastball right in there. 2 balls and a strike. We're in the fourth. Ken Kravik getting set. The pitch. Swung and he missed. And the count is evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kravik trying for his 4th victory of the year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. Low inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A right-hander getting ready in the bullpen. Kravik getting ready. Morales will lead the pitch. He walked him, ball 4. So the Twins have runners at first and second with nobody out. And Larry Wolf, the 3rd baseman, coming up. Wolf hitting .250. Was out on strikes his first time at bat. Nobody out. Ball game in the 4th. Ken Kravik. This is the first time he's had more than 1 base runner. Now the stretch. The pitch to Wolf swung and fouled out of play. 1 strike and nothing. Nobody out. White Sox will be home Monday night, opening up a 15-game homestand. Remember, you can pick up your telephone tomorrow during business hours between 9 and 5. Just dial these letters, CALLSOX, and order tickets by telephone. Here's a fastball low on the count is even. And, of course, you can pick them up in person at Comiskey Park or at the various branch ticket offices. A ball and a strike. Now the pitch. Swung and he missed. Boy, this next homestand, we ought to emphasize that as get over 500 time. With 15 games, the White Sox will have a good chance to not only get to 500, but get over it. 2 strikes in the ball. The pitch. Hey, struck him out. A good curveball over the outside corner. Beautiful pitch, and that's his 5th strikeout of the night.
Second time that Wolf took that pitch. You know, also, we'd like to, in that homestand, go by California and Texas, and we're not that far behind them. One club we're 4 games behind, the other 5, so we would love your support.
1 man out, runners at first and second. Here's Roy Smalley now. There's a curveball in there for a strike call. 1 strike and nothing. Ball game in the bottom of the 4th, 8-0 in favor of the White Sox. Ken Krabick ready to fire. Now the pitch. Swung at a curve and he missed it. And he made him look bad on that. 2 strikes and nothing.
Super motion area in that pitch. Really looked like he was going to throw a fastball and change the speed on it.
Now Morales will lead at second. Rivera at first. The pitch to Smalley. Here it is. Line drive to right field should be caught. Henry Cruz has it. They're going to get a double play. The runner on second base, Morales, thought it was a base hit. Smalley lined hard to Henry Cruz, who doubled off Morales at second base. How can you be running on anything questionable when you're 8 runs behind? No runs. 1 hit. No errors. 1 left. At the end of 4, White Sox 8, Twins nothing.
Here's the latest on Chicago's bad weather tonight. The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning effective for 15 more minutes over in Lake and Porter counties in Indiana. All of the Illinois tornado warnings, including Chicago's, have expired. However, a tornado watch remains in effect until midnight tonight in north central and northeastern Illinois and over South Lake Michigan. The heaviest storms were north of Aurora, Illinois, but the bad weather pretty much has moved east of Chicago.
You're invited to our party. Or, if you'd rather have one of your own, you can call now at 924-1000 and ask for George and tell him that you'd like to have a picnic in the park. Comiskey Park, that is. He'll handle all the details for you. What a way to go. It's the best of 2 worlds. White Sox baseball, apple pie, and Southern fried chicken, too. You'll be the talk of your group, and they'll want to come back again and again. Call George at 924-1000 and join the fun at Comiskey Park. White Sox baseball and your very own picnic in the park.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jimmy Pearsall for Emery Air Freight. Emery doesn't just go to major cities. They also go to the minors.
Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall, and we go now to the top of the 5th with Henry Cruz leading it off. Jack Ekdahl, wanting to be remembered to his family in Downers Grove, Illinois. Here's a pitch to Cruz, and it's a curve outside and low. California leading Oakland 3-0 in the 3rd. Here's the pitch to Cruz. Swung on, bouncing ball. Second baseman coming in. The toss in time. Cruz really hustling down the line. Not a way to run. You're listening to exciting Chicago White Sox baseball coming to you through station WMAQ, NBC in Chicago.
Bloomberg stepping in. The last time he hit a curveball right up the middle for a base hit off a left-hander. So he just tried to play pepper with him like he does every day. He plays pepper behind home plate to try and just meet the ball and got himself a base hit.
Bloomberg has walked in singles so far. Here's the pitch. Fastball a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. The Texas Rangers, Kansas City of Texas, rained out. Now the wind, the pitch, look out. He ducked out of the way. The Giants at Philadelphia tied 3-3 in the 7th. You know, the Phillies have beaten the Giants coming from behind in each of the last 2 nights. Here's the pitch. Swung, and he fouled it back. 2 balls and a strike.
Good crowd on hand here, Harry.
Yeah, I mentioned that before. I'm surprised. On a threatening day.
And then they have to play ball like this tonight.
I hope they do that way, play that way tomorrow night, too.
I'll tell you one thing, I have never seen a mock club play like they're playing here tonight. They're doing everything against his way of playing.
2 balls and a strike. Swings and he misses. Boy, oh boy, trailing 8-0 Morales. I'd like to hear what Mock said to him.
And he's a DH, ain't he? He's sitting on that bench. I imagine he heard a little.
Now the wind-up the pitch, here it is. Bouncing ball, and it's fouled on the first base line. Smalley in a low line drive into right field. Morales just assumed it was going to be a hit. And ran. Henry Cruz made the catch easily and just flipped into Bannister at second base with a double play to end the inning.
Morales standing on third. He didn't know what happened. What happened? What did I do?
1 out, nobody on. The pitch. Line drive. Nice play by Smalley to throw. Bloomberg beats it out. Smalley made a great play to his right, but Bloomberg legged it out, and I can't get over how Bloomberg is running. A base hit that gives him 2 out of 2.
Never mind how he's running. Imagine hitting those left-handers for 2 hits in a row.
Yeah.
That's got to make his food taste better tonight.
And he drove it around with one of them. Here's Naharodny. He's 1 out of 2. Right-hand batter. Max Schertz, veteran southpaw, delivers. Fastball low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball game in the top of the 5th, 8-0. 8-0. The White Sox are leading. Now the stretch, the pitch. Swings, and he fouls it off the end of the bat. Ken Opazinski wanting to be remembered to his friends on the south side. A lot of White Sox fans here tonight. Now the stretch. Here's a pitch. Wide, ball 2. Bill Naharodny at the plate.
How far are we from Chicago here?
About 400 miles. 2 balls and a strike.
It's just a beautiful drive, scenic-wise.
Oh, yeah. I imagine. I've never made it. Swung, and he missed trying to hit the right field. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But this beautiful country.
Yeah, right behind center field, Harry. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all that farmland.
Rolling hills, yeah.
Oh, my.
The rural beauty of Minnesota. 2-2 pitch. There's a one-hopper to the second baseman. Over the shortstop, 1. Over to first, 2, a double play. Naharodny rolled into a double play from Randall to Smalley to Carew. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. Move into the bottom of the 5th. The White Sox 8. The Twins, nothing.
Now True Value Hardware stores can make your home workshop more.
From Des Plaines, and Don and Barb Gagliano, formerly of Arlington Heights, are here. 1 strike to nothing. Pitch to Bobby Randall. Swung on ground ball to Bannister at short. Good throw, get him. 1 away. Bannister throws out Randall. 1 away, that will bring up the catcher, Glenn Borgman.
Boy, he's feeling those balls nice the last 2 times. Got his momentum going right towards first base.
There's a youngster, Garrett Klippel from Glen Ellen. Started work at Northwest Orient Airlines today. Wants to say hello to the family. And Ken Quirk from Des Plaines is here from the North Chicago VA Hospital. Mark Williams from Chicago. Paul Ivis of the Times, the reporter from Hammond, Indiana, is here. Bill Brudwick from Mundelein. Jim McLean from Palatine. So you see the White Sox have a lot of fans here. A ball and a strike to count on Borgman. Swings and he fouls it off to the left. Tim and Al Dreyer for the South Sider here. And the doctors are having a radiology convention from Rush Presbyterian St. Luke's Medical Center. Doctors Guy Matthew, Suresh Patel, and Michael Hutman are here. There's a pitch outside, ball 2.
Here, we've got some speed in outfield tonight. Gar in left, Bosley in center, and Cruz in right. And they all can run.
They sure can. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch swung on, foul down the third base line. Marty Cormanek from Oak Park is here. George and Helen Joe Zaitis from Chicago.
Hey, Harry, how can they get those messages to you? I can't find my way up here. I can't find my way upstairs.
Now the pitch, here it is, swung, and he fouled it back. Megan Scott Stevenson. Celebrating a birthday out here tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. White Sox leading 8-0. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Bannister. He got it. There's the peg in time. Boy, that ball was hit like a shot.
Boy, it took a wicked hop to his right, and it stayed right on the ground, and he stayed down with it. So every chance he's had tonight has been a tough one, even though it's hit at him.
Allen's had 1 error tonight, but he's handled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other chances well. 2 are gone. Here's Willie Norwood, the left fielder, the pitch. Curveball inside.
You know, Mr. Veck had the right idea. He felt something might happen. Now we got 2 shortstops injured, and we needed him badly.
Yes, that's about right, because while Allen didn't play earlier, he was insurance. And now they need that insurance. Here's a fastball, swung and missed. That evens it up with a ball and a strike. 2 men are out. Willie Norwood. He's had 1 hit. They've only had 2 hits. The pitch. Slow curve outside. White Sox getting tremendous pitching. Stone and Barrios pitched back-to-back shutouts in Cleveland. Now Kravik's got one going. 2 men out here in the 5th. Fastball a bit low. Ball 3.
How about Cusick pitching well at Iowa? Won again last night 2-1, and he's got a major league arm.
Cusick might be in that situation where first the 3-1 pitch swung. Long drive, deep right center. Cruz on the run. On the run. Sensational catch. Holy cow. What a catch by Henry Cruz. Racing at top speed in a deep right center. I don't know what other outfielder could have made that play. Maybe Bosley, but I don't think even Bosley could have gotten there any better now.
The only way Bosley, because he's got his glove on the right hand, but what a catch he made. Fantastic.
1, 2, 3, nothing across. At the end of 5, White Sox 8, Twins nothing.
Well, I remember way back in 52 in those magic moments with Mary Lou.
Harry Carey back in Minnesota. We go into the top of the 6th inning now. Alan Bannister will lead it off. White Sox are leading 8-0. Ball game in the top of the 6th. Well, I see the White Sox drafted a boy in round 15, a shortstop named Andy Dawson. Now, there's nothing. There's Bannister, a base hit in the left field. Bannister on the first pitch gets his 2nd hit of the night, a ground single into left. Now, there's nothing outstanding about mentioning that Andy Dawson, who's 18 years old, bats left, stands 5'6", weighs 150 pounds. But what makes it of interest is he's from Waxahachie, Texas High School. Now, you know that Paul Richards' fine Italian hand had to be in that one. Here's Soderholm, swung on. Long drive, left field going to be caught. Norwood is there waiting, and he has it. One away. Here's some youngsters going by with a big banner. Carl Keel Fan Club. Now, he's the third base coach.
Twins' only hope.
Reactivate Carl Keel. One out, one on.
Watching Soderholm that time, he hit that ball good, but it was out away from him. For some reason, though, his ball's not jumping off his bat like it did last year. That ball just died out there about 360.
Here's Bosley. Scarce throws the first. Bannister is back. White Sox with 10 hits, 8 runs. Now Scarce gets set. The pitch. Swings, and he misses. He had a good cut. Ball game in the top of the 6th.
Just starting to get dark here now.
Scarce is ready. Throws the first, the runner back. Eight to nothing. The White Sox shooting for their third consecutive shutout. The pitch. Inside and high, I think the last time they had 3 shutouts in a row was in 1973. A ball and a strike. Now Scarce gets ready. The pitch. Strike, a good fastball. He kind of wheels that ball from the side. Montreal beat San Diego 8-3. Here's the pitch to Bosley. Swung on, ground ball to the shortstop. Smalley over to Randall for one of the first 2. Bosley rolled into a double play, 6-4-3. And that retires the side. No runs, one hit, no errors, nobody left. That's one of the rare times you'll see Bosley hit to a double play. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. White Sox 8, Twins nothing. Rod Carew takes the first pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Now the delivery swung and he missed. Boy, he has fanned Carew twice. He's really done some job of pitching to him.
Certainly has. He's been hitting that outside corner with the curveball and the fastball on the inside part of plate.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Now Soderholm moves in looking for a bunt, but changes his mind and moves back.
8-0 in favor of the White Sox. Bottom of the 6th. Now the pitch, slow ball, and he bunts it. Soderholm's throw in time. Boy, Eric just picked that ball up. Didn't try to throw off balance. Picked it up, reared back, and really gunned it.
A perfect ball, a bunt. It was a slow changeup on a fastball. It was almost a lob pitch, and he stood there and bunted it perfect, but Soderholm was charging all the way, and as Harry said, he picked it up barehanded and threw a strike.
1 man out. Here's Ford now. A 2-hit shutout so far for Ken Krabick. Trying to become the 3rd White Sox pitcher in as many games to work a shutout. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Dan Ford, the center fielder up there, takes the pitch inside for ball 2. California leading Oakland 3-0 at the end of 5. Now the sign. Atlanta leading the Cardinals 5-0 in the 6th. There's a strike call on the outside corner at the knee. 2 balls and a strike, 1 man out. Ball game in the 6th. White Sox leading 8-0. They've out-hit them 10-2. Now the side. The pitch on the way. Here it is. Bouncing ball foul.
Harry, let's talk a little bit about that catch Cruz made off of Norwood. Cruz ran all the way to the track at full speed, put his glove hand up and made the catch, and that's one of the better catches you'll ever see by a right fielder going full speed. So we've got some good defensive outfielders out there right now.
Cruz made a fine play on a line drive, turned into a double play, too. Here's the pitch outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 man out. I tell you one thing, when when they bring Claudel Washington off the disabled list, hey, struck him out swinging. Ford goes down swinging, strikeout number 6 for Kravick. There are 2 guys you can bet that won't go go down. That's Cruz and Molinaro. Boy, they have done some job.
Molinaro, when we really needed him, was playing great, and Cruz fills in, gets a home run here and there, and is a good outfielder.
2 men are out. Here's Morales now. Here's the wind-up the pitch, and it's outside. Ken Kravick. 2 men out here in the bottom of the 6th. Kravick has an 8-0 lead. Now the signal given. Here's a pitch to Morales. Foul, trying to hit the right field.
They're all trying to go to right now, but his fastball is just overpowering him. There's a big hole in left center between Gar and Bosley. Just imagine how big a hole you could have. It's how big it is.
A ball and a strike. Now the delivery, the pitch. Off speed, outside and high.
Now there's that dangerous pitch. If you get that over with that alignment in that outfield, he'll have to pull it in that gap.
2 balls and a strike. Jose Morales, 1 out of 2. The pitch. Ooh, boy, good fastball, but inside. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch swung, fouled out of play. He fouled off a fastball.
I'll tell you one thing, Doby must have worked with this guy because he's moving that outfield around and leaving that gap, and that's the way he's swinging. Even 3-1, he was going to right center. So I guess at Montreal, he was there when Morales was there.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Foul ball back, out of play. Three and 2 is the count.
He's a breaking ball over right now. He would never hit it, but with a score of 8-0, 2 outs, he'll just try to get it over.
He tried leading in Milwaukee 1-0 at the end of 2. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Fouled it out of play again.
That time he hit it right at the end of the bat, so he's still got a live fastball.
Full count. Kosk, the plate umpire. Voltaggio at first, Maloney at second, McKeon at third. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Again, he fouls it out of play. Another fastball. Got around late on it.
You know,
Kravick has still got good mustard.
You know he's got to be looking for a fastball, but it must be moving.
Now Kravick wants a new baseball. White Sox back home Monday night, opening up a 15-game homestand.
You know, basketball could end tonight. Do you know what the score is? I can't find the score.
3 balls, 2 strikes. On June the 7th, the basketball season will end. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Hey! Struck him out. Morales goes down swinging. That's a 7th strikeout for Kravick. This is Harry Carey now going over to the television. The score at the end of 6. White Sox 8, Twins nothing.
The sporty Chevy Monza.
Again, everybody, Lauren Brown back at the Met along with Jimmy Pearsall as we go to the 7th inning. White Sox out in front here, 8-0. And the White Sox now have shut out the opposition for the last 24 innings and have allowed only 12 hits over that period, James Pearsall.
Well, you know, watching our ball club, it seems like now when we got to get a run, we'll get one. If we get a break, we take advantage of it. In the 2nd inning, we got an error and 2 walks, and every one of them scored and a hit batsman, too.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I mentioned it last night, and that is the fact that the White Sox, in their 9 victories, in the last 10 games, a third of them, 3 victories, have come home. The winning run has been scored on an error twice and a pass ball the other time. Here's a swing and a long fly ball to straightaway center. Ford is there, and he's got it. And Ralph Gar flies out to lead off the 7th inning. 1 out. And George Orr to the batter, 2 for 3 tonight. A home run. He is struck out, and he is singled. So in other words, they're taking advantage, as Jimmy just indicated,
of every mistake the opposition makes. And we've been getting such great pitching. A guy like Stone and Barrios says, get me a couple and I'll get it for you. Where last year we needed 7.
I think that Ken Kravick performance tonight. Here's a swing and a grounder to the shortstop. Smalley throws him out. Well, they're ready to jump on Smalley every time something's hit to him.
Well, it certainly isn't all Smalley's fault what goes on.
No, but the fact that he's made 14 errors and earlier tonight had that ball go right through his legs. 7 strikeouts.
You couldn't tell it went through his legs the way he fell down.
Well, it did. I think he fell down turning around to see where it went.
I thought he took a long time before he got up off the ground.
Tom McGowan from Chicago here at the park tonight. Here's a pitch outside a ball.
I'll tell you one thing, Tom is insistent, too. He wants to let everyone know home. And Monica and the guy up the street, and it's in the service here now. And Tom, get out of the booth.
Here's a pitch of ball. Stone struck out 7 against Oakland. Here's a swing and a long fly ball to right, but not going to carry out of here as the right fielder has no problems with it, and Brazil flies out. 1, 2, 3, the White Sox are retired here in the 7th inning. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. The White Sox 8, Minnesota nothing.
Now True Value hardware stores want to give you the facts of life about Rayovac heavy-duty supercell batteries. Rayovac heavy-duty supercells can give better than twice the life of their ordinary batteries. So when you have devices that you use often or for long periods of time, use Rayovac heavy-duty supercells from True Value hardware stores. You won't have to replace them as often, and in the long run, that's more economical. Heavy-duty supercells are backed by Rayovac's own guarantee. If their heavy-duty supercell batteries should leak and damage any device in which they're used, Rayovac will fix or replace that device free of charge. Get Rayovac heavy-duty supercells in popular sizes at participating True Value hardware stores.
True Value Hardware is more than just a name. It's a way of doing business that means True Value.
Gordon Brown and Jimmy Pearsall back at the Met in Bloomington, Minnesota, with the White Sox out in front, 8-0. Ken Kravick has struck out 8 tonight. The high on the staff this year was Steve Stone, who struck out 8 at Baltimore. Stoney also struck out 7 against Oakland and 6 2 nights ago against the Cleveland Indians. So one more strikeout by Kravick will represent the season high. He's allowed only 2 hits. A looper into right center that Orta spun around on, couldn't get it. And that was off the bat of Norwood, and a shot off his mitt by Morales off of Kravick's mitt for the second hit. Pombo Rivera, the batter, he has gotten on in an error and a walk tonight. One thing about Kravick tonight, opposed to the other night, Jimmy, when he got that 8-run lead against Kansas City, led 8-0, then wound up winning 9-5, did not finish the ball game. Seemed like he might have relaxed a little bit, whereas tonight he's really bearing down as if he's been in a 1-run ball game.
Also, it's cooler out there tonight. It's about 55 degrees, and he's a lot stronger.
Here's the first pitch of ball.
You know, one thing about Ken, he's not a strong young man yet. He's still got a little ways to go before he reaches his full potential.
Left-hander delivers. Here's a strike in the outside corner. A 2-hitter for Kravick. White Sox got 2 in the first, 1 of them a home run by Orta, and 6 in the second. It was a good breaking ball with a strike in the outside corner. He's got a wicked curveball tonight. He has struck out Rod Carew twice. Once looking. I'm sure that doesn't happen too often, Jimmy.
That's right. He's
like Ted Williams. He didn't take many called third strikes. Here's the pitch inside a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitcher's a swing and a fly ball down the right field line. Might be in there for extra bases. Fair ball. Cruz gets it at the wall, throwing it in. There goes the runner trying for third. And he dives in without a throw with a sliding triple.
That ball was hit down the line. Cruz got a good jump, but he overthrew the cutoff man, Horta. If Horta got the ball, he could have threw him out, but it got over his head. Bannister was backing him up, but didn't have a chance because at the time, Rivera was just halfway between second and third, so by missing the cutoff man, they missed any chance of getting him on the relay.
So the White Sox shutout in jeopardy here. With the leadoff man tripling into right field. White Sox have shut out the opposition their last 24 consecutive innings. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, swing, and a foul off the bat of Larry Wolf, who has struck out twice tonight, called out on both occasions. Umpire examines the baseball and gives it back to Naharodny. Outfield pulled way around to the left.
You know, we still got some crippled players that Brazil, of course, doesn't run too well. Bannister has arm trouble. Soderholm can't run too well. So we've got some problems.
Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's outside the ball. Fortunately, the outfield's healthy.
Yes,
with the exception of Chet Lemon, who's out with various ailments.
The outfield we have right now can fly, and Cruz showed us that when he made that great catch off of Norwood. Really a fine catch.
1 ball, 1 strike. It's Garr in left, Bosley in center, and Cruz in right. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Here's a swing and a base hit to left. There goes the shutout, and it's an 8-1 ball game.
Kravic did not lose his stuff on that pitch. He broke his bat on an inside fastball, and he just forced it out in the left field. So now, Kravic would like to get a double play and settle this thing down a little bit.
Roy Smalley, the batter. He has struck out and flied out to right. California leading Oakland 3-0 in the 6th, first game of a doubleheader. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, swing, and a miss. Well, if California could sweep a doubleheader from Oakland, Kansas City would be a game and a half back. Texas and California would be 3 back, and the White Sox, if they win tonight, would be 8 out. Here's a strike.
Well, that's the way you got to pitch Smalley. 2 good breaking balls down. He swung at the first one, and he took that second one. Last time we got a double play when he had 2 strikes. He lined to Cruz, and Morales, with his head down, ran around third for a double play.
Here's the pitch, swinging a foul ball to Carl Keel, the coach's box at third. 2 strikes in the batter.
The difference between a Kravic and a Whitey Ford on a pitch like that, when the count's 2 strikes and no balls, and he's giving you 2 strikes with curveballs, he'd throw you a fastball either high and in or high and away to make you think he might throw a fastball and then come back with a curve.
Instead of coming with that curve right away.
Right, he threw him 3 straight curves.
Now you got to look fastball. Here's the pitch to Soderholm, over to second for 1. Relay double play. That goes 5-4-3. And the fans getting on Smalley as he goes back to the Twins dugout. And the bases are empty and 2 out.
You know, it's amazing. Smalley, with all the money he got out of college, could never run. And he still can't run. But he always had pretty good range. But he's not consistent when he plays. He's not a very strong young man. But he's got a great arm.
So there's 2 out. Bobby Randall, the batter, takes a strike. Atlanta leading the Cardinals 6-0. That game in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Lauren, the basketball season, I'm trying to get it over. What's the score?
We haven't even gotten it on the ticker.
Looks like there's something bothering Kravic.
Yep, Charlie Satz coming out. Well, whatever it was.
He just handed it to him, whatever. He must have either dropped his medal or something into his shirt and took it and give it to him.
1 ball and no strikes. They're in the 8th at Philadelphia, tied at 3-3, the Giants and the Phillies. Montreal winning a doubleheader tonight. Move within a game and a half of the Cubs. The Phillies will either be a half a game out or a game and a half out when the day is over. Here's the 1-1 pitch outside a ball.
Boy, he's still throwing good. He snapped up a super curve for the first pitch, and that time a fastball just missed the outside corner, let her high.
8-1, the White Sox are leading. Here's the 1-2 pitch inside a ball. Well, back in 73, the White Sox had 3 consecutive shutouts. Wilbur Wood, Stan Bonson, and Eddie Fisher against Baltimore and the Yankees twice, but it will not happen tonight. As a triple and a single has broke the streak. Here's a check swing. Umpire said he went around. 9 strikeouts for Kravick, which is a high for any White Sox pitcher this year. But in the inning, the Twins break the shutout with a run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on. So we're at the end of 7. It's the White Sox 8, Minnesota 1.
Have we got fire for you when you list your house with us? Have we got fire for you? We're a company you can trust. We're members of the biggest relocation association in the world. It's called Relo. It sends us buyers. So you should list your house with us.
When it's time to sell your house, your nearby Relo member has the buyers you want, both in this area and moving here from out of town. And if you're relocating, he can put you in touch with a Relo member wherever you're moving. There are over 135 Relo offices in Chicagoland. In the western and northwestern suburbs, it's Gladstone Realtors. In Westchester, call 562-6500. And there's First United Realtors with 9 offices serving all of DuPage County and the Fox River Valley.
We're part of Relo, so you should list your house with us.
Lauren Brown back at Bloomington, Minnesota. As we go to the 8th inning, the White Sox have been out in front from the get-go here with 2 in the first and 6 in the second. Now lead it by a score of 8-1. Max Scarce has been on the mound since the 2nd inning. Roger Erickson won an inning and a third, allowed 7 for them earned on 5 hits. Scarce has allowed 1 run on 3 hits. Henry Cruz, the batter, he has singled home a pair of runs in that 6-run second. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch up high a ball. 3 of the White Sox players walking down the left field line. Well, they've got the bullpens down here now. Stan Williams, Sam Hairston, and Laren LeGros. They get Laren settled down and correct some of the problems that he has had this year. Cruz, besides going 1 for 3 and driving in 2 runs tonight, as a replacement for Chet Lemon. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a grounder right side. Base hit again. 2 hits for Cruz. Made a spectacular running catch on a ball in right center field. Off the bat of Norwood back in the 5th inning. And the batter is Ron Blomberg, who has had a good night. He has walked and he has singled twice, driving home a run. San Francisco just came up with a run in the 8th inning. And they lead Philadelphia 4-3. Well, the Phillies have come from behind 2 nights in a row to beat the Giants. The Giants were trailing tonight 3-0, but now lead 4-3. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike in the outside corner. They're in the 9th at St. Louis. Atlanta 6, Cardinals nothing. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a grounder to short. Could be 2. Flips to the second baseman for 1. The relay, not in time. Carew had a dive towards home plate to get it and keep that ball from going into the dugout. So the front man, Cruz, is retired from 6-4. And Bloomberg is on for the 4th time tonight, this time on a fielder's choice, and Bill Naharodny, the catcher, the batter. Billy 1 for 3. A single in the second, and he scored in that inning. Jim Slayton, formerly with the Brewers, now with the Tigers, beat Milwaukee last week in Detroit. And he's beating Milwaukee tonight in Milwaukee 2-0. That game at the end of 3. They had a late start because of a rain delay. Here's a pitch outside a ball. Rain here earlier today. At about 2:33 in the afternoon, showers moved out, and we're able to play. Much to the advantage of the White Sox as things now stand. Here's the pitch, a swing and a foul upstairs. California just posted a run in the 7th. They now lead Oakland 4-0. First game of the doubleheader. Fairley hit his 7th home run of the year. Here's the pitch, and it's low a ball. Angels have lost 9 of their last 10. Oakland has won 4 in a row, 2 straight over the Yankees and 2 straight over Boston. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a foul to the right side. Out of play. Apparently the Toronto-Cleveland twine-nighter has been washed out. We have had no report whatsoever. In fact, nor have the people here in Minnesota, because if they had had a report, they would have put the postponed sign out of the board. Kansas City of Texas postponed because of rain. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a foul again. Minnesota with one of the better scoreboards in the league. Very similar to Comiskey Park, where you are updated on the score every inning. The teams remain up there throughout the night. They don't flash it on and off. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and another foul upstairs. Let's see. Milwaukee has a good scoreboard. Informs the fans of the inning-by-inning progress. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a foul to the right. Here at Minnesota, Comiskey Park does. Tiger Stadium. Cleveland does not. New York does not. Boston does not. What about Baltimore does, don't they, Danny? Runner at first, 1 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside of ball. Texas does not. California does not. Oakland does not. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see 3 more. Kansas City does not. Left-hander ready. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Scarce. Make that number 4 for Scarce. So there's 2 out, and Alan Bannister, the batter. Allen's 2 for 3 tonight. Well, the White Sox have not gotten a lot of hits the last couple of ball games, though they were timely hits. But tonight, get back in that groove where they've picked up 11 safeties. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike. While all this is going on, pitching coach Stan Williams working down in the bullpen with right-hander Laren LeGros. Well, it'd be great to see him get back in 1977 form. And as they say, pitchers, just like hitters, get into slumps. Left-hander delivers. Here's a swing and a fly ball to right. Rivera is there. He's got it, and the White Sox are retired in the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The White Sox 8, Minnesota 1.
People use our money to get the most out of life.
What would it take to turn your house into the house of your dreams? Is it adding a family room and another bedroom? A 2-car garage? Or maybe even a swimming pool? You could do it if you talk to HFC about a homeowner loan. How much you may borrow depends on the equity you have in your house. Equity is the difference between what your house is worth today and what you owe on it. HFC could help you turn your house into the kind of house you dream about. Household Finance, an equal opportunity lender.
People use our money to get the most out of life.
The HFC homeowner loan up to $10,000 and a wide variety of repayment plans to choose from. HFC. People use their money to get the most out of life. HFC has 60 offices in the greater Chicago area. See your phone book.
The time is right, that feeling's coming through. Real dear lovers know only one deal will do. from one beloved to another. Stroh!
The Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan.
Lorne Brown back at Bloomington, Minnesota as we go to the bottom of the 8th. White Sox out in front, 8-1. Led 2-0 at the end of a half inning and 8-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Twins got their lone run in the last inning on a leadoff triple by Rivera and a single by Wolf. Glenn Borgman, the catcher, the number 9 hitter in the order, leads it off. He is grounded out to second and to short tonight in 2 trips. He'll be followed by Willie Norwood and Rod Carew. Left-hander ready. Here's the first pitch, a fastball inside. Well, we figured it out. Only 4 parks in the American League are able to inform the fans of what's happening elsewhere in the majors inning by inning. Comiskey Park, Milwaukee, Minnesota, and Detroit. 4 of the Midwestern parks. Boston, New York, Cleveland, Oakland, Texas, California, Kansas City, Toronto, Seattle, and Baltimore do not. Here's a strike in the outside corner. The National League, haven't been to all the National League parks. Wrigley Field obviously does. I know Philadelphia, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, the new Paul parks do not. They flash it on periodically. Here's the pitch, and it's inside a ball. Wrigley Field might be the only park where you actually get an inning-by-inning score. 3 in the first, 4 in the second, et cetera, with the other games. Stan Williams down to the bullpen, seeming to say to LeGros to come around more, that you're throwing way away from your body. Here's a strike. $6,627 tonight. Here's the pitch inside a ball. But there are almost 5,000 exchanges, so a total of 11,581 in the park as Borgman takes called strike 3. That's the 10th strikeout for Ken Kravik tonight. He struck out, let's see, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, nobody in the fourth, nobody in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh, and 1 here in the 8th. And the first pitch is a ball to Norwood. Norwood is singled, and he is flied out to right. Here's the pitch, a called strike. They're in the bottom of the 9th at Philadelphia. San Francisco 4, the Phillies 3. Had a couple of rain delays in that ball game. Left-hander delivers. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a foul coming upstairs. California leading Oakland 4-0 in the bottom of the 8th. First game of the doubleheader. Left-hander in the lineup. Here's the 1-2 pitch outside a ball. Evens the count up at 2-2. Montreal swept a doubleheader from San Diego tonight. 4-0, 8-3. Here's a swing and a foul upstairs. Grimsley got the win in that second game. He's 10-2. Los Angeles and the Mets are tied up at 2-2. Left-hander ready, the 2-2 pitch outside a ball. Houston scheduled at Pittsburgh tonight. There's no report on that, so I've just got to believe that that Cleveland-Pittsburgh area of eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania, that they've gotten a lot of rain tonight too. Cubs this afternoon had their 10-game home winning streak snapped, and their latest streak of 5 in a row ended as Cincinnati emerged victorious 9-6. Bonham over Burris. Here's the pitch. Inside a ball, he walked him. That's the second time that he has walked Norwood tonight. And it's the 3rd walk given up by Kravik. Rod Carew, the batter. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out twice. And he has been thrown out by Soderholm trying to bunt his way on.
On continues to scintillate over there at third. 3 up and 3 down at the end of 4. Pittsburgh 1 and Baltimore nothing.
Top of the 5th inning, the Pirates are holding on to a 1-0 lead. We'll recall that as of yesterday, the Pirates were holding on to a 2-0 lead in the late innings, and Baltimore came back to take that thriller by the score of 3-2. Well, the ball game is far from over, but again.
Left-hander tosses over to first, the runner back. Norwood, on a hit and run, stole second in the first inning when Carew missed the pitch. Then with Carew up, taking a strike in the third, he stole second, went to third on an error. Kravick going over there. I wouldn't even worry about the guy. He got a 7-run lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kravick's gone over there 2 straight times. Here's the pitch, runner not going, and it's a strike. Really don't anticipate a runner to be going in this situation. Nobody out and 7 runs down late in the ball game. Though they were running at Kansas City the other night in similar situation with Willie Wilson on. Hartzell's come on for California in the 8th to relieve Brett. Oakland is stirring things up in the bottom of the 8th. Left-hander ready. Here's the 1-strike pitch. And strike 2. Another breaking ball to Carew. Atlanta beat the Cardinals tonight 6-0. A 4-hitter by Necro, evening up his record at 6-6. 2 strikes to Rod Carew, leading the majors in hitting coming into tonight's game with a .371 average. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Way outside a ball. 11,581 here tonight. 6,627 paid. The other close to 5,000 in on exchange tickets from previous games that had been washed away. Toss over to first, the runner back. They've had their problems weather-wise up here. And they've had it all over the league. Seems like more so here. Here's the pitch. Check swing and a ball. Evens it up 2-2. White Sox trying to win their 3rd straight and their 10th in their last 11. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Way outside a ball. 3-2. A runner at first with 1 out. Borgman struck out. Norwood walked. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, runner not going, swing and a miss. He struck him out for the 3rd time tonight. When do you see Rod Carew strike out 3 times? Plus, he was called out on strikes his first time up. Well, let's do a little computing. Carew, coming into tonight's ball game, had struck out only 19 times in 49 ball games. Left-hander delivers. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a shot into left center. Bosley coming in. He's got it ankle high. No, it dropped. The umpire out there saying he trapped it. And it goes as a base hit. Bosley was fooled on it. It was hit right at him. And then all of a sudden he broke in on the ball. And the umpire, Johnny on the spot, George Maloney, out there and said he trapped it. So that is the 5th hit off of Kravick. And the Twins have runners at first and second with 2 out. Ford's first hit of the night. Jose Morales, the batter, 1 for 3. He is singled and he is struck out twice. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. And it's a strike in the outside corner. Our wire service just gave us the final on the Cardinal game. Now they come back with it in the bottom of the 9th. At 10,756 at Busch Stadium tonight. Kravic ready. Here's the one-strike pitcher's a swing and a foul upstairs, so he's quickly ahead of the batter. No balls and 2 strikes. 6 runs and 9 hits for Atlanta. The big blow, a grand slam homer by Pocoroba in the first. Falcone the loser. He's 0-5. Here's the pitch. Way outside, a ball goes back to the screen, and the runners move up to second and third. Not even close. A wild pitch by Kravic. And the count of ball and 2 strikes. This is WMAQ, Chicago, Illinois. You'll hear White Sox baseball throughout the 78 campaign. Now Kravic gets a new baseball. Well, they just came across with an American League summary, and all they mentioned was Kansas City at Texas postponed because of rain. I guess they didn't realize Cleveland was to play tonight. Here's a pitch outside, a ball. Oakland did not score in the 8th. They're in the 9th. California 4, Oakland nothing. As Kravic just missed ball 2. 2-2 to count to Morales. Runners at second and third. 2 out here in the 8th. Sox leading 8-1. Left-hander delivers. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a shot to Bannister. He's got it. Picks it up. Throws. He got it. That ball came off of Allen, but he kept it in front of him, recovered and threw to retire the batter, to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit. 2 men left on. So we go to the 9th here at Minnesota. The White Sox 8, the Twins 1.
McDonald's Sundays that make you smile. I had a strawberry sundae, and I smiled. I really smiled. You want to get your smiling? McDonald's is serving sundaes. The newest swirls covered with hot fudge, strawberry, or caramel. You're really smiling.
So I'm smiling.
But Arnold, you've never done that before.
Well, you never bought me a McDonald's Sunday before.
McDonald's is smiling.
Sit in the shadows of some of baseball's all-time greats, Eddie Walsh, Red Faber, Ted Lyons, Billy Pierce, and many others, while you and your intimate group share the bullpen at Comiskey Park. It's old yet new because it's a never-before area that was off-limits to all except Mound greats. Now you can share their bench in a unique way to see the Sox with your friends. The exclusive bullpen is available for booking now, but hurry, the word is out and reservations are going fast. Call 924-1000 and ask for Danny to make your reservations for the bullpen at Comiskey Park.
Lorne Brown back at the Met in Bloomington, Minnesota, with the White Sox out in front here by a score of 8-1. White Sox pitchers have allowed only 1 run now in the last 26 innings. Twins got their lone run on a leadoff triple in the 7th by Rivera, and he was singled home by Wolf. So we go to the 9th inning. Former Twin Eric Soderholm, the batter. Eric 0 for 2 tonight, but he was hit by a pitch and scored in that 6-run second inning. Here's the pitch to Eric, and it's a strike. Left-hander ready. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a grounder, foul. Most of the other baseball is over. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. We'll take a look at all the Major League activity for you following the ball game, as well as giving you an update on the latest standings. Max Scarce delivers. He's pitched a pretty good ball game. Misses outside a ball 3. He's only given up 1 run on 6 hits since he came on in relief in the second inning. Roger Erickson gave up 7 runs on 5 hits in an inning and a third. There's a pitch outside, a ball, he walked him. So Soderholm on twice tonight, being hit with a pitch and a walk given up here by Scarce. That's the second walk that he has given up in the third the White Sox have received tonight. They're at the end of 7 at New York. The Dodgers 2, the Mets 2. The batter, Thad Bosley. He has singled and scored. He's driven in a run with a sacrifice fly. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a fly ball. He's also struck out and grounded into a double play. The right fielder Rivera is there, and he's got it. And there's one out. Tomorrow night, Wilbur Wood will be going for the White Sox, and he'll be opposed by Dave Goltz. Came back with a victory the other night. He's just coming back from an injury that kept him out earlier in the season. Ralph Garr, the batter. Ralph is 1 for 4 tonight, an RBI single. Here's a swing and a grounder to second. Could be 2. Over to short for 1. The relay, double play. Third double play of the night turned over by the Twins, going from 4 to 6 to 3. In the innings, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the ninth here at Minnesota. The White Sox 8, Minnesota 1.
Think of what you could do with $10,000 cash. It's easy to get. All you have to do is when your phone rings, pick it up and say, WMAQ is going to make me rich. If it's us cash calling you, you win $10,000. We could be calling you soon, so be expecting our call. No questions, just one phrase. WMAQ is going to make me rich. Say it. Win $10,000 cash from your radio station, WMAQ.
You're invited to our party. Or, if you'd rather have one of your own, you can call now at 924-1000 and ask for George and tell him that you'd like to have a picnic in the park. Comiskey Park, that is. He'll handle all the details for you. What a way to go. It's the best of 2 worlds. White Sox baseball, apple pie, and Southern fried chicken, too. You'll be the talk of your group, and they'll want to come back again and again. Call George at 924-1000 and join the fun at Comiskey Park. White Sox baseball and your very own picnic in the park.
Lorne Brown back in the bed in Bloomington, Minnesota. The White Sox 3 outs away from winning their 3rd consecutive ball game, their 5th on this road trip, and 10 of their last 11. Well, the White Sox got things underway by winning their 5 in a row at Comiskey Park. And then you look ahead at a tough road trip where you've got 10 games in 4 different cities, including the first 3 at Kansas City. And you knew that this would be not only a struggle, but a test of the White Sox mettle, so to speak. But the White Sox have come through, taking 2 out of 3 from Kansas City, sweeping the 2-game set from Cleveland, and a chance to do no worse than tie this series. Kravick should get out of the 9th inning here as he goes to complete his first game of the year. The victory, if the White Sox hang on and win it, will be their 5th and assure them of at least a 500 road trip. Here's a swing and a base hit to left. Pablo Rivera has been on 4 times tonight, got on in an air. He's walked, he's tripled and scored, and he is singled. A .328 hitter. He's doing a good job for the Twins. And he leads it off with a single. And the batter is Larry Wolf, who's driven in the lone Twin run. Now the bullpen's going to get busy for the White Sox. Nordhagen and Sam Harrison going down there to warm up Willoughby. The bullpen for the visitors used to be out in right center field here. Here's the pitch, and it's high a ball. Rich Hinton also going down to warm up. Now it's down the left field line, but the whole club stays in the dugout. There is no such thing in Minnesota anymore as a bullpen per se. There is a warm-up area. Here's the pitch, and it's outside a ball 2. White Sox leading 8-1 in the bottom of the 9th. Kravick slowing down, thinking. Now Rodney likes to get him to work in a hurry, but he steps off that rubber. There's nothing that Naha can do. Now he's ready. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Called strike right down the pipe. Wolf is struck out twice, and he is singled. Kravick has struck out 11 tonight. He has struck out 2 in 4 different innings. Left-hander ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Two balls and 2 strikes to Wolf. White Sox could use a double play here. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3, struck him out. 12 strikeouts for Kravick, and that may well be a career high. Let's see, of the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have been called third strikes. Carew once, Wolf twice, Wolf 3 times. Here's a swing and a looper into right field by Smalley, a base hit. Here goes a runner to third. The ball gets away from Bosley, and a runner will score, and it's a 8-2 ball game. Bosley had the ball get beyond him. It'll go as an error on Bosley. A single and an error. And Rivera comes around to score for the second time tonight. It's an 8-2 ball game. A runner at second, still only 1 out. And the batter is Randall. That's just a routine looper into right center that dropped. But it got by Bosley. Here's a pitch high a ball. That is an unearned run as things stand right now. Left-hander ready. Here's the 1-0 pitch. High, ball 2. Kravick aiming that ball on that last pitch. Get down enough, it came straight up. High above the letters for ball 2. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3, look out. 3 balls and no strikes. A run is in and a runner at second. Kravick having trouble completing a game. Struggling here in the 9th inning. The 3-0 pitch he's got to be taking. He is, and he walked it. 4 straight pitches. Here comes Bob Lemon. He's not going to fool around. Bob Lemon coming out to the mound. Now Rodney goes out to have a word. Lemon yet to make a decision here what to do. Obviously, he has but 2 options. One to let him remain in the ball game, the other to jerk him out. White Sox led 2-0 at the end of a half inning, 8-0 at the end of an inning and a half. 8-1 at the end of 7. Now it's 8-2. With runners at first and second and 1 out, and Glenn Borgman, the batter. Borgman tonight 0 for 3, and he has struck out. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch, and it's outside a ball. 5 straight bad ones after giving up the hit to Smalley. Rivera singled. Wolf called out on strike. Smalley singled. Went to second, and Rivera scored on an error by Bosley, and Kravick then has missed on 5 straight pitches. Left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Swinging a grounder foul to the left side. Evens up the count at 1-1. And apparently that broke the bat of the Minnesota catcher, and the bat boy gets him a new one. White Sox be coming home Monday night. Big 15-game homestand. Taking on these Twins for the final 4 games. In the middle will be Kansas City for 4 games. It'll be Cleveland for 2, Texas for 2, Kansas City for 4, Seattle for 3, and the Twins for 4. Left-hander ready, the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a shot, base hit down the left field line. 1 run is home. And it's now an 8-3 ball game. Runners at first and second. Soderholm was playing off the line. Somewhat of a surprise with a right-handed hitter up. Usually the third baseman guarding the line in that situation, and the ball got by him into left field, and that's going to be all for Kravic. Well, just a shame this kid can't complete a ball game. He's done a great job through 8 innings, allowing only 1 run. He had struck out 11 coming into this inning, but 3 singles and a walk in this inning have knocked him out of the box. Borgman getting credit for his 5th RBI of the year. That run will be an earned run because of the additional single. And Jim Willoughby comes in for the White Sox, and Kravic gets a hand. Kenny went 8 1/3 innings, allowing 3 runs on 8 hits. And 6 of the 8 hits here in the last 3 innings as he tired. He walked 3 and struck out 12. So Jim Willoughby comes out of the bullpen. This is the first time the White Sox have gone to the bullpen since Sunday. Willow, as he is referred to by his teammates, is making his 23rd appearance for the White Sox. He's won none and lost 4 and has saved 4 ball games with an earned run average of 3.24. The tying run is in the hole. The 4th and 5th runs are on bases. The 6th run will be at the plate. The 7th run is in the on-deck circle, and the 8th run in the hole, and this is getting serious. First game of a doubleheader. Ken Brett and the California Angels stopped the Oakland Athletics 4-game winning streak and defeated the Western Division frontrunners 4-1. Brett over Worth. They're going to send Chris Knapp in the nightcap and have a great chance to take that doubleheader. Adams is the pinch hitter for Norwood. Norwood was 1 for 2 and walked twice against Kravic. Adams, a left-handed hitter. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch way outside a ball. Adams hitting .234, 5 homers, and 12 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 2. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Strike in the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Two on and 1 out. 2 runs are home here in the 9th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Rod Carew in the on-deck circle. Willoughby getting his sign from Naharodny. Sox need a double play. Here's the pitch. Swing and a shot foul down the right side. The Twins with an uprising here in the 9th have scored 2 and have 2 on. They came into the inning trailing 8-1. Now it's an 8-3 ball game. Willoughby ready. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul back to the screen. The Philadelphia Phillies did it again. They just came up with 2 in the 9th, and for the 3rd consecutive day have come from behind to defeat the Giants. They had been leading 3-0, then trailed 4-3, but they got 2 in the 9th. McGraw over Moffitt. Unreal. Only a half a game behind the Cubs now. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a grounder up the middle. Bannister has it. Steps on second. Throws to first. Double play. The game is over. Good job by Bannister. And the White Sox win it as Willoughby comes in and gets the pinch hitter Adams to ground into a double play. The third turned over by the White Sox tonight. That goes 6-3. In the inning, the Twins come up with 2 runs on 3 hits. There was an error in the inning, and 1 man left on. We'll be back with the totals and highlights in just a minute.
Wait.
Lauren Brown back at the Met in Bloomington, Minnesota, where the Chicago White Sox have won their 3rd straight ball game, their 10th in their last 11. And Ken Kravick getting his 3rd consecutive victory after losing a game coming back from the minors. For the victorious White Sox, 8 runs, 11 hits, and 3 errors, 3 men left on. Minnesota, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error, 6 men left on. The winning pitcher, Ken Kravick, now 4-4, and the loser, Roger Erickson, 6-4. The White Sox have handed him half of his losses. They had 11,587 here tonight, of which 6,627 were paid. The White Sox jumped out in front early with 2 runs in the first inning. A single by Bosley. He was balked to second. Ralph Garr singled him home. Then Ralph was picked off at first, and then George Orta hit a home run to make it 2-0. The White Sox then jumped on Erickson and Scares for 6 runs. 4 of them are unearned in the second inning, and led 8-0, and held on to defeat the Minnesota Twins for the 2nd time this year, 8-3. Ken Kravick struck out 12, high for the year by a White Sox, and I'm sure that's high in his career. Probably the only disappointing thing in the ball game was that he was unable to finish the game. I guess you could say, well, when your bullpen can help you out, let him give you 6, 7, 8 strong innings. But still, a cool night. It wasn't particularly hot, and Kenny with a 7-run lead going into the 9th inning, unable to close the deal, so to speak, using the analogy that Bob Lemon likes to use, and pitchers closing out deals like salesmen would. So, at any rate, still did a magnificent job. Only 2 hits off of him up until the 7th inning. A bloop single into right center that was catchable but wasn't caught, and then a single off of Kravick's mid in the 4th inning. Bombo Rivera tripled in the 7th and came home on Wolf's single. It was the first run off the White Sox in 25 innings, in the last 25 innings. Then in the 9th, a single by Rivera. After 1 out, a single by Spaulding and an error by Bosley scored Rivera. A walk to Randall and a single by Borgman, and that made all the runs in that inning earned off of Kravick. Then Willoughby was summoned from the bullpen. Adams, a left-hander, came up as a pinch hitter, and he grounded out into a 6-3 game-ending double play. That's the 2nd consecutive game that the White Sox have ended it on a double play. So the White Sox now have won 5 and lost 1 on this road trip, with 4 more to go. Tomorrow night, Wilbur Wood going against Dave Goltz, and then on to Texas to take on the Rangers on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. So the White Sox, the victors here tonight. They have now won 10 of their last 11. And of these 10 victories, the White Sox have had 4 shutouts, 1 game when they allowed only 1 run, 3 games where they've allowed only 2 runs, and here tonight they allow 3 runs. 1 other game they allowed 5. The 1 game they did lose, they allowed 13 runs. But the White Sox earned run average still under 3, about 255 in this 11-game span. So it was a good one. I like these kind where you jump out early and relax. Unfortunately, we didn't relax in that 9th inning. But the White Sox win it. They have now won 22 and lost 29. Now in the American League tonight, California, the first game of the